I am a Muslim, a scholar of ancient Ivalese history. Have you ever heard of the Lion War? It divided Ivalese in two, over who would be successor to the throne. It ended with the appearance of a young hero named Delita. Everybody living here knows this hero's tale. But we also know that what we see with our eyes alone isn't necessarily the truth. Here's a young man. He's the youngest son of the noble Beowulf, pillars of knighthood. There's no record of his playing an active part in history, but according to the Duray report, released last year, concealed for many years by the church, this unknown man is the true hero. The church claims he was a blasphemer and anarchist, the root of all evil. But is this the quote-unquote truth? Won't you join me on a journey for the truth? Before that, please tell me your name and birthday. Alright, so we're starting out, and the narrator is a scholar of history, and he's talking about the history of Ivalese, I probably screwed that up over and over. He's talking about the history of Ivalese, and he's talking about how there's a known tale as to what happened, but that there's actually a different story behind why a war happened, why all these things occurred. If you watch the intro video, part 0 to this series, you will have seen a little bit of exposition about what's happening in the story. I'm going to do my best to explain it as we go. It can get kind of convoluted. This game is basically Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones thought it was something. It's pretty wild. So we're just doing our name, and then the game has quite a system for birthdays. Basically, it affects what your astrological sign is for your main character. And all the characters, all the monsters have astrological signs. And we're just going to select one. You can select an ideal one based on how the game is. You can select an ideal one that will help you with more bosses and stuff. I haven't done that. In fact, I think the one I'm selecting is, mid-tier at best. It's actually just based on my own birthday. Okay, so let's get started. What an awesome opening. I wanted to let that roll because I wanted the opening going. Orban Monastery. But I also wanted you guys to hear the music, and I wanted the credits to that to play because the people who made this game really deserve that credit, so... Alright, Orban Monastery. God, please help us sinful children of Ivalice. Princess Ovelia, let's go. Just a moment, Agrias. The guards have already arrived. Princess, don't give Agrias trouble. Please hurry. What's going on? It's been nearly an hour. Don't be rude to the princess, Gafgarian. Is this going to be alright, Agrias? This is an urgent issue for us. So there are rude knaves even among the Hakuten. I'm being more than kind to the guard captains here. Besides, we're mercenaries hired by the Hakuten. I'm not obliged to show respect to you. What? How dare you? Enough. Let's go. Go with God. You too, Simon. Uh-oh. Lady Agrias, the enemy. And Skultana's men? What one must do to make money. What, Rajov? You have a problem too? I'm no longer a knight, just a mercenary like you. That's right. Well then, let's go. Oh, God. So you haven't caught on yet, this game's music is phenomenal. The music's gonna be awesome like this for the whole time. It's great. Fantastic. Okay, so we're running into our first battle here. And our first battle is, we'll get into it in a second. The Crest of the Black Lion. What's wrong with Prince Goltana? He's such an idiot. Does he want to start a war? Knave, there's no point in resisting. Just give us the princess, or that beautiful face of yours will be scarred forever. Fool! Only idiots attack head-on. Leave this to us. We can't make money that way. Rad, Rajov, follow me. Alright. So we're here with our first battle. And this battle is kind of a tutorial battle. They don't really teach you anything for it being a tutorial, but the cool thing about it is they let you learn on your own. So it's even better than the normal tutorial these days. Kill them all! Don't leave any survivors! Nonsense! There's no need to kill them. That's just what Goltana wants us to do. Just let them go. That's impossible. Ah, Gethgarian. Always the gentle soul. Yeah, the game is teaching you by letting you just play it. It's setting a scenario and letting you play. In this battle, you're only in control of one person, and that's the main character. Everybody else is run by the AI, and that's the way they kind of let you learn. So every turn you have some options. We can move around the board. We can choose to do actions based on what our character's job is. We'll go over what those are. We can wait and do nothing, and we can do these essentially in any order, with a few exceptions based on a couple things. We also can check the status of this unit. We can also go around and check other people's status. We can also set an auto battle stance, which will just make this AI controlled. And it's not the worst, but it's not the best either. You're almost always better doing it yourself. There are some reasons you would do this, but they're generally not for efficiency or needed reasons. We'll talk about it sometime, but not today. All right. Real quick, before we get into it, we'll look at status and get an idea of everything about these characters, and we'll go back to this and talk about it some more. As you can see, there's a ton of stuff on this screen. Final Fantasy Tactics is extremely in-depth with all of its statistics and things going on, and all of it's important. We can actually walk through and look at all of it. Okay, so you have your level, and then your experience. Levels, basically every time you level up, you have stats that grow based on the job you're currently in. We'll talk more about that at some point. Experience goes up to 100 every level. You get experience based on when you hit people, whether it's your own teammates or the enemy, or when you do some other effect that's maybe beneficial or does something to somebody somewhere. You get experience, and once an experience gets to 100, you gain a level. Again, we'll get more into that too. There's your character's name, there's your character's job, there's your character's sign, and this one's Gemini, and every sign has different compatibility. So you're looking here and it says good, Libra, and Aquarius. So if another character I'm interacting with is a Libra or an Aquarius, we're going to get a bonus to working with them, but they also get a bonus to working with us. That's damage, that's healing, that's chances to apply buffs and debuffs, almost everything. There are some exceptions. Bad is the opposite. You'll get negatives to that, and they'll get negatives to you. Best, it means that, and you can see the fun typo here at the end, a Sagittarius of the opposite sex, so a female Sagittarius is the best character. They'll do the most damage to me, or heal me the most, or the best chance to give buffs or debuffs. And the worst is a Sagittarius of the same sex, a male Sagittarius. They have the worst chance. I don't remember what the percentages are. I think it's like 25% in the worst case, plus or minus, and maybe like 10% in the best, but I'd have to look it up to really see. I don't remember. You'll notice it as we go that that's really where the variability in those things comes from. And you have a stat called Brave. Brave is essentially how often you will use your counter ability. We don't have any counter abilities now, so we'll go into that later. There's very rare exception where you want this to be low. Otherwise, most characters should have it high, unless you're not going to use a counter ability. Okay, and then you have Faith. Faith is helpful for magic, but if you're not using magic, or some special skill that requires Faith, you don't want a high Faith. Faith affects how much damage you deal with magic, how much, also your chance for status effects, good and bad, to others. But all those boosts you get, they also apply to you. So magic damage is raised, magic success rates against you, all those things. So it's a trade-off. You can be good at magic, but that means magic's good at you. But if you don't believe, if you don't have faith, it doesn't really affect you that much. It still can, just not as much. And these are percentages, essentially. They don't read that way, but that's how they kind of end up acting. Okay, and then you have movement. There's so many tiles you can move. There's so many tiles you can jump up, and I think horizontally as well. This is your speed. The way speed works is it adds up. There are clock ticks that occur. You can see where it says CT up here, CT 100. A clock tick is essentially the game calculating, adding up everybody's speed until somebody's turn to go. This character's speed will add up 6 every time until it gets to 100, and then he gets to go. If somebody gets to go before him, their turns will execute, but eventually his will go. Okay, weapon power. Moving around all kinds of places. Right hand and left hand. The left number is damage. The right number is percentage chance to parry, which only applies if you have weapon guard, I believe. We'll go into that later. AT is physical and magical, based on those signs, attack power. And the way these calculate is AT times your weapon power is how much damage you'll do. So if I hit somebody and no special compatibility, bad or good, I'll be doing 42 damage. There's no variability to that except with a few weapons that are kind of weird. And then the magic attack power, it works for all the magic healing and magic healing, damage, and I think dancer abilities as well. No, bard abilities. But I don't always know how this multiplies. They all have their own formulas, so it depends. This is class evasion. Depending on what job you have, is how this will change. And it applies when people are attacking you from the front. This is shield evasion. I have no shield, so it's 0%. If I had a shield, it would be higher. Top is for physical, bottom is for magic. And this applies in all directions except from behind. And this is your accessory evasion, based on if you have an accessory that applies evasion for you. That accessory evasion applies all the time, even from the back, which is phenomenal. There's some equipment here. We're not going to go through this too much right now because you can't do much with it. It's your main weapon. You can put a shield here. Sometimes there's two-handed things, and you can only use, the two hands to use your weapon. Some people can't use shields or weapons, like monks. Helmets, armor, and accessories. These depend on what job you have as to what you can put on. So, as a squire, this main character is a special squire. He can wear all kinds of stuff. He can wear heavy stuff, light stuff, he can wear robes, he can wear basically everything. That's not normal for characters. Okay, and then this is the main ability I have. It's Guts. It's a special squire ability. No other character in the game has it, because this is a special character. And this will be a support ability, counter ability, support action ability, counter ability, support ability, and movement ability. We will get more into that later. Now that we've gone through everything in the frickin' universe, we will actually play the game. I apologize for making you wait. So I'm not going to rush in here. There's so many guys, there's like 5 of them, and if they decided to focus me, which they probably won't, but if they do, I would probably die. So instead, I'm going to let some of these other guys get up and do stuff, and then I'm also going to use... What's that do again? Brave. So normally he doesn't have this at the start here. He normally has like accumulate. We'll use it just because it won't really matter. We'll go into why this is an awesome ability later. Right now, we don't really care because this is a tutorial battle and things aren't permanent here. Unless I lose, and then I lose the game. Agrius is a unique character, and as a unique character, she has a unique ability called Holy Sword, and she has all kinds of abilities in Holy Sword. They're fantastic, and only she and some other special characters have them. Your main characters like this one don't. We'll get more into that stuff. I want to let this play out a little bit, though. I've been talking a lot about game stats. Ooh, she guarded. So, he tried to break her helmet. That's a special ability the Knight class can do, but he failed because she blocked it. He had a good chance, but he failed. Okay, the archers are lining up, and basically they have an ability called Charge, where they can charge their weapon, and the longer they do it for, the more damage they'll do. So that's what they're doing. Unfortunately for them, while they charge, they're extremely vulnerable. They forfeit all their evasion, and they take more damage. That's the same for if, what's it called? For magicians as well. So wizards, time mages, priests. Anytime you're casting, anytime you're charging like that, you see that little gear over them, they're completely forfeiting defense. But it does pretty good damage. 40's not bad for this part. Ooh, she blocked it. Alright. So now we're coming around again, Gefgarian's turn. And we'll get more into the mechanics of the game. They can be pretty in-depth, but the more you play, the more you get used to it. We'll get into them a little more later. I know I've talked a lot about them now, so I want to kind of get through. Play it out. Alright, so we're doing pretty well against these guys so far. They have 2 guys down. I've fallen behind a little bit in turn order, as you can see, because other people are going before me. There's a couple reasons for that. If you move and act on the same turn, your CT will go to 0. If you just moved or just act on a turn, your CT doesn't go to 0. I don't remember what it goes to, but I don't think it goes to 0. Alright, so I'm in range of people, and we're engaged in the battle, so I'm ready to fight here. It's really the chemist, the knight, or the archer. Nobody else has really hit the archer. This guy would be easy to take down as long as I don't miss. Let's try it. So attacking from the front isn't ideal, but we're going to see what happens when we try. We're going to select attack. See, my range is 2. 1 is on me. 2 is the squares around me, and 3 would be the squares around that. Alright, so we're going to shoot. And it tells me I have 42 damage I'm going to do on the left, and then it says my percentage chance of hitting. It's 90. The reason I have 10% less chance of hitting is probably because of the archer's evasion. It could be an item he's also wearing, but who knows. If I hit him, he's going to die. 42 minus 30 is negative 12, then we'll kill him. And indeed, this dude's dead. Now you'll see I got 16 experience in JP. Experience is what we talked about before, experience. JP is job points. We will get into that later. It's a really cool system in Final Fantasy Tactics. You earn job points the same way you earn experience. And job points, wow, we almost won. We're basically won. We just gotta kill this guy. He's going after poor Rad over there. Job points apply toward your job skills, and you can choose skills. You can purchase skills with job points to use while you're on that class, or while you're using the support action ability of that class. Again, we'll go into it. Gafgarian, so he's got really cool skills. He has these ones. Master of all swords, cut energy, knight sword. He has one of the coolest sets in the game. They're not that many of the skills themselves, but I mean, hitting people from range and stealing the life from them and the amount of damage you did is really good. That's really good. It essentially doesn't miss from what I've seen. Agrius' skills are really good too, but same deal. So we're going to try to hit this guy from the side, and I'm choosing to go to his left side here because it kind of boxes him in a little more. He can't move through our characters. It doesn't really matter, this fight's essentially over, but it's good practice. Now attacking from the side, it'll be a little easier to hit him, but he has a shield, so you can see the damage I'm doing is extremely reduced. You'll also see I'm doing 35 instead of some other instead of 42. And we can tell if we take a look at this character that he has a zodiac sign. A sign called Pisces. Sign compatibility. Cancer, Scorpio's good, but Gemini and Sagittarius are bad. I'm a Gemini, which is why when I try to hit him, I do less damage to him. When he tries to hit me, he will do less damage to me as well. And you can see all of his equipment, and yes, you can inspect your enemies on this. The game is called Tactics. You can choose every single thing you do based on all of these things. We won't be doing that on every single little thing. I'm not going to examine the Zodiac on every guy to determine which is best to hit. Occasionally I will, but... Anyway, so we have a 78% hit chance, and that's because his class evasion's 10, which... Oh, I guess it is applying from the side, so there you go. Oh, no, it's not. His class evasion's 10, which doesn't apply because I'm on the side, but a shield evasion does. It's 22. 22 minus 100, or 100 minus 22 is 78. So 78% chance to hit. That is not affected by Zodiac. Purely equipment and other things. Alright, let's see what we do. And he blocked me like a jerk. So, RNG is a huge thing in this game. Life is short. Berry. Steady sword. RNG can be brutal in this game, and it can be amazing. It can save us, or it can kill us. So, you know, you can have a 90% chance. That guy could have missed there with a 5% chance not to hit. So, it can be pretty unforgiving sometimes. And you'll see it come up, and you'll see me cry. So he's casting Blind, and he has a 60% chance to inflict darkness. And he missed. So, darkness, I think, decreases your raw accuracy by, I think, about 10%. Gafgarian's being an idiot. We don't need your bonuses. We need you to kill this guy. He has terrible compatibility. It's probably why he was doing so little damage to him. Life's refreshing breeze. Blowing energy. Cure. Yeah, Gafgarian doesn't strike me as a guy that would be curing. I mean, we are in his team, and we're helping in the fight, but... so far, Gafgarian seems like a mean guy. He's at least a rude guy. He doesn't really care about pleasantries. Agrius definitely cares about pleasantries. Shows a little bit about their character. This guy's almost dead. We are going to just try to hit him. Now, this is going to be harder. You'll see we have 8% less chance even from before to hit him. But let's see. Got him! And we critical, so we did more damage. And he's dead. Let go of me. Damn. Come here. Be quiet. Why should I listen to you? What an annoying princess. Oof. The epic Japanese one-punch to the stomach knockout. Wait! Tough. Don't blame us. Blame yourself. Or God. Oh, God. Talita? You're alive, Delita? But why are you in Goltana's troops? Why? So those two know each other. Rajat and Delita. I apologize for this weird sound in the background. That's the rain sound. The emulator can do some weird stuff occasionally. Prepare for some very slow scrolling text. Delita's name appears for the first time a year before the Lion War broke out. I'll be waiting for some of this stuff to scroll through, otherwise I'll be reading like I have a speech impediment or something. You will have far read it before I'll even have read it, but it is what it is. Little money. Oh, and by the way, I cannot skip this. I cannot make it faster. There's nothing I can do. We get to enjoy it. Many soldiers who returned from the war had no jobs, little money, and even less loyalty to the crown. Many became thieves and rebels, plotting rebellion against the royal family. Like I said, speech impediment. I feel like William Shatner. At that time, robbery and murder were commonplace in Ivalice. Many heroes and wizards came out of there. And Garland was no exception either. Chapter 1. The Meager. Alright. So we're gonna have another small fight after this, and that fight is going... It can mess you up sometimes, but we should be fine. I'm gonna do one more, and then we'll cut it for now. I heard another wagon bound for Igros was attacked. Must have been the Death Corps. Something's starting. Know anything, Delita? So this is where these two know each other from. This is a flashback, and they were cadets at the military academy together. No, but I can guess. What do you mean? Prince Larg's coming to town. Prince Larg? Why? Not only Larg, but Marquis Elmdory of Limbury, too. That's news. It's not an official visit, is it? There are danger zones everywhere in Ivalice. The Hukutan Knights are in full operation, but suffering from a shortage of men. So they need us cadets. Everyone, fall in! You have a mission. As you know, barbarians are rapidly increasing here in Galleon. The traitorous Death Corps detest the royal family. We cannot overlook them. We will begin exterminating these traitors by order of our master. Larg's knights stationed at Igros Castle and many other groups will participate. Your duty is to support the flank. Specifically, you'll go to Igros and help guard it. Cadets, ready your swords. A gang of tortured thieves is trying to sneak into this town. We'll begin preparations now to keep them out of town. Come with me. This is the front line of operations. That's all. Prepare immediately. Alright. So these cadets, they are not veterans, and they are going to participate in a battle. To try to stop some thieves. So you're going to see I have tons of saves. I don't know where I'm going to put this one. Okay, it's like a normal memory card. I'll probably save over them because I think they should be mirrored. I apologize, give me a sec. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's the same deal. Okay, yeah. I made it, so I copied memory cards. I didn't want to have to worry about saving over my stuff. These are the exact same memory card, but now I'm gonna use it for this playthrough. Okay, sorry about that. Little bit of preparations. All right, so this will be the standard battle screen before any battle. You choose who you want and where you want to start them. The hard part, if this is your first playthrough, is you have no idea what these mean relative to things. Oh sure, it has an arrow down there pointing which way you'll be facing things, but it's not always helpful. And your main character won't always start where you put him anyway. So, in any case, I have an idea about some of this stuff, so I'm going to place people. Now, we have a starting party of people, and that's great and all. Normally, I would keep some of these people for their stats, but again, I'm doing this playthrough for at least a friend, but also some of my friends. I've asked them all to give me what classes they'd be interested in being, and because of that, I'm going to have to buy entirely new party. So I'm going to start out with a huge negative in that I'm going to have to blow all my money hiring new soldiers at level 1 with no real abilities. Just so I have the opportunity to name them, and so they have the brave and faith I want. We'll talk about that in the next episode when we get there. But yeah. So it doesn't matter what these guys level up, doesn't matter anything right now. I just gotta get to this fight, basically. And that's how it's gonna be for at least a couple fights. What's this? Just a bunch of kids. What luck. Okay, all we have to do is kill these kids. Then we can escape. Don't you worry, we'll kill every one of you. That guy sounds like a sociopath. It's one thing to be a rebel and to be desperate. It's another thing to be like, all right, all we gotta do is kill these kids. What a jerk. Alright, so now I'll be controlling everyone but our special guest, Delita, and that'll be generally how this game goes, is you'll control everybody in your party, unless there's a special guest. Alright. Oh, so all the characters in this battle are going to have very low starting equipment, very few abilities, very early jobs. Everyone here is either a squire, which is basically the first job, or a chemist, which is the other first job. Each of these jobs is going to branch off into different zones. Squires branch off into the fighting zones, and chemists branch off into the magic zones. Okay, so, as you can see, we can move the map around. I can also tilt it like this, and we'll do that as necessary to make it comfortable. I'm going to move my chemist up a little bit, just to keep him central, and if anybody needs help, he'll be able to throw potions at them. These are the items he can throw. Unfortunately, he does not have Phoenix down. This is something I could have checked beforehand, and I didn't, so shame on me. But hopefully we won't need it. There's not much else we can do right now, so we're going to wait. We'll see at the end of our turn. We choose which way to face. Again, important, because you don't want to get attacked from behind if you can avoid it. Raja, watch out! Don't rush them. Don't patronize me, Delita. I'm also a Beouf. Beouf? The Beouf family? So, you must be cadets from the military academy. Snot-nosed little nobles. Silence! Surrender or die in obscurity. What kind of bunch of kids like you do? Bunch of spoiled punks like you'll never beat us. We'll see about that, buddy. So, another part of the story revealed. These two are part of a famous noble family called the Beouf. Unlike what Delita advised me to do, I am going to rush them and just attack them. There's no reason not to at the moment. That's not always a good plan, but in this fight, everything seems fine to do that. I had a 100% chance to hit him because he has no... It's from the side and he has no shield or accessory, so there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to move people in position for the next... for some of these people on the right side of the map. So you'll notice you got to look around the map to see where people are. The game doesn't just tell you necessarily. We have these three over here, and we have two over here. This guy in the back is a little sleeper, and if you don't notice him, you could put yourselves out of position by moving around. So we're just going to move people up to sort of crowd this woman and make her life terrible. I'm just checking to see if any of them have an ability called Throwstone, which is the only ranged ability the only ranged attack ability these squires can have, and sure enough, she has it. Alright, so you'll notice it basically does no damage, but we're gonna do it anyway. Woohoo! So that put her over her experience threshold, so she gained a level. Delita's gonna attack. and then move away. That's a pretty common tactic if you're already starting next to somebody, or the AI is starting next to you. Often what they'll do is hit you and then move, because then it forces you to have to move, as opposed to basically it just forces you to move, and sometimes they can be disadvantageous. Unfortunately, they have a chemist. Chemists are great healers because they can throw potions to their friends from a pretty good distance. I think it's range 4. So that'll make it a little tougher to kill him, but that's fine. Okay, what's his life at? 37? So normally you don't want to put your chemists kind of where I put them, and the reason for that is they're vulnerable, they're weak, they're generally not good at dodging stuff, they're not going to have the equipment to do that. Regardless, I'm going to put them up there. And the reason is, again, I'm not super worried about it. Worst case, ooh, that is terrible damage. Worst case, I can probably just run away and use a potion on him. I could probably hit her from this roof, so we're going to. Ha! Wrong. Alright. So this turn's basically wasted. I can't do anything. Maybe I can hit her from the slower ground. Nope. Shoot. Yeah, so height is a huge deal in this game, obviously. All we've done is made it so we've limited her options. She might be able to jump over me. I doubt it, but she might be able to. We've limited her options of movement, but we can't do much else right now, which is unfortunate. So the battle actually isn't going super well for me. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. I don't think I'm going to lose from it or anything. I'm going to move back a little. Nobody's going to be able to get to my chemist. I mean, maybe one guy, but that's fine. It's just one guy. So now... Oh, wait, what am I doing? He's over there. Oh, he never moves out over there for me. He always runs down this side. Interesting. Now we have the issue that we're almost too crowded over here, and we can't get in moves on this person. Very weird. These are not the problems I'm used to having. We're just going to attack from the front. You'll notice all these guys have a 95% chance, 90% chance to hit, 100%. Again, nobody's really has any ability to stop any of the stuff going on. Okay. 18. Now, that's a lot of damage for this level. Hopefully we'll be alright. We'll see. Ow. Okay, now I can move in and attack her there. 16, that's great damage, and if we hit, we got her. Alright, beautiful. Now, some of these fights, often what you want to do is kind of drag it out a little, at least way early on. You can build up a lot more experience and job points that way by keeping the battle going as long as possible. You have to balance that against not dying, because if you're not careful, you'll drag it out and then lose the advantage and die, but it depends on the battle. A trick you can use is actually to hit your own people. I don't think I can dash him because he's not the right height now. You can hit your own people, and it will still give you experience and job points. So we're going to. I even gained a job level up. So, just as an example. I won't be doing that a lot these fights, because again, what I'm trying to do is actually just get through the fights and win. Oh, he keeps healing his friend. Which is, again, the advantage of like a priest or a chemist being back there. If you can protect them, they can really keep you up a while. I'm going to heal, because if he chases me down, I am going to be in a very bad position and probably die. And I don't technically care about this character, but just for my record, I don't want him to die. And yes, your characters can actually permanently die. When they fall on the ground, they'll have a counter. And I'll show you that. You can actually probably see it over on the right. You can see here, this character's a counter of 2. When her CT at the bottom there goes to like 100 again, or passes 100 again, that number will count down again. When that number is at 0 and it counts down again for the final time, she will turn into a treasure chest or a crystal, and she's permanently dead. A Phoenix Down will revive her. No increased spell to revive her, nothing. The same is true with my characters. They can permanently die. I generally consider one character dying a game over and won't let that happen. Though one day I do want to play a version of the game where where basically it's like Iron Man. If you die, you lose out. I should be able to hit him there. So I'm gonna take that. Yeah, perfect. He's tanking us pretty well. I'm gonna throw a potion at my guy in a sec. I'm gonna double down on him. I'm tired of his shenanigans. I don't want him to keep getting healed. And I call what I just did a disrespect. It's when you have an enemy right there with you, but you just turn around away from him. And that's why I disrespected him. I knew he'd be dead. You're gonna see me do that a lot. It's about sort of forecasting what's gonna happen. I know he's gonna be... I did not know she was so hurt. Okay, so this puts me under a lot of pressure if I care about this character and my reputation. I don't want her to die, so I have essentially 3-4 turns to finish this battle, or it's over, or she dies. I may let her die, because again, it doesn't matter. I'm not keeping these people, but we'll see. That's good damage. It's great damage for this level. They must have a good compatibility. Give me good compatibility. Yes! Now I gotta hit him. Yes! Alright. Alright, so we have a good chance finishing this. The issue being the chemist. If he runs away, I will have serious problems finishing this quickly, because he can just run and heal, and it's all a pain in the ass. Do I want to do that? No, I want to heal my character. Give me a sec. What do I want to do? Where can you move? Not far enough. Okay, so my chemist can't really get in the fight, and if he does... 1, 2, 3, 2... Yeah, I won't... See how I won't be able to move up behind him with this character? The only place I can attack him from would be here. But that means if I move my chemist there, I can't attack with this guy. So I'm not going to move him there. Instead, I'd rather somebody with real damage to get on him, so I'm just going to heal myself. Which I need anyway. Wow, what a mistake I made with that chick. I'm trying to rush through these fights because I've done it so many times. And actually, I'm going to leave you there, because I might need you to go faster, further in. I've done it so many times, and again, I'm not leveling these people up. I'm not keeping them because I need new people that I can name after my friends. Get him, delete him. Oh yeah, you're just healing me. That's my guy. Who needed it too. But we need to kill these guys, so... We'll see. I think I could do it. I think I could still finish the fight in time. Especially since that guy didn't run away. My chemist ended up being bait. Delita walked away and left him open like a jerk. So this could work out fine. And the chemist isn't healing and running because he doesn't feel the need to. He doesn't have a weapon, so he's punching. Punching is not very effective unless you are a monk or have the martial arts ability a monk has. Nice. So the chemist has actually good either compatibility. Has good enough compatibility with him that he did good damage. Normally he won't do much at all. He probably had normal compatibility there. So what we're going to do is box the chemist in. This won't completely box him in, because the chemist can move 1, 2, 3. But it's going to make his choices a little harder. And hopefully we can get some good damage on him and make it so that the next hits will kill him. It didn't make him any more visible to me. Game. Compatibility, 9 damage. If I hit him? Yes. Now, the great thing here is that now this guy has no ability to heal unless he has his own, and we can check that actually. His name's Nox. Basic skill. That's the normal Squire skill. A quick change, which is 95% worthless. I've tried to think of some use cases for it, but yeah, there aren't many. So this guy he's not stuck. He could move anywhere where these blue are, so we could try to run that way. But he doesn't have a lot of life, so I'm just going to try to run in and kill him, even if it is right in front of him. I still... Oh, wait, no, my... Oh, that's right, I just used my guy. What an idiot. So I'm really tired, guys, and I haven't been super well, so I'm making a lot of stupid mistakes and decisions, and I'm also talking, commentating, so I'm not thinking as much. So I apologize. I'm going to be doing some silly stuff. Finished off by the chemist. Beautiful. So we saved that poor female squire there from death. Why do you continue committing acts like robbery? You wouldn't have died this way if you led an honest life. Okay, beautiful. This battle is complete. At the end of every battle, as long as you win, at the end of the battle you don't lose, you get money based on the people you fought, some sort of multiple, and then you get bonuses. You could get bonuses. They can be money, they can be items, or you might not get any bonuses. It just depends. Story battles, you'll usually get bonuses. Random battles, you never get bonuses. But your potential for money is a lot higher in random battles, and we'll go over why. I am not going to read this part, because that's just tutorial stuff, and we'll talk about that stuff anyway. So, wow. This is my first time recording in a while. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and are excited about getting going with this Let's Play. Again, it's been a while for me to record and play games like this, so I hope you are enjoying it and I'm not messing up too much. Just give me a little leeway if you can. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Have a great one, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.